I'm Samantha Brown, professional organizer, decluttering specialist, and business coach. I created Pro Organizers Coach podcast to empower you to reach new heights in your business. I am on a mission to build a supportive sisterhood of passionate professional organizers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting started, this podcast is for you. Hey friends, welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast and YouTube channel. I'm super excited about today's episode because of the topic we're going to talk about. So as organizers, we all know that when we go into our clients' homes, they have so much stuff. And then we also always get the question, hey, will you post this on Facebook for me? So I kind of have an answer to a couple of those things with today's guest, and we are going to get all into it. So I have got Miss Jessica James, and she is a serial entrepreneur. She was in the tech industry, and now she is launching her second venture in the e-commerce space with a mission to reinvent the reselling experience. She founded Madilyn James with the clear purpose of empowering entrepreneurs, providing sustainable shopping opportunities, and giving back to the community. So thank you, Jessica, for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
So what is Madilyn James?
So Madilyn James is an e-commerce platform for obviously selling, reselling, and shopping, of course. Our main goal obviously is that sense of community and collaboration. So while we know there are other e-commerce sites out there, we feel like what we bring to the table is not only are we going to put more money in your pocket because our commission rates are a lot lower, but that sense of collaboration and community instead of that competitiveness that you see on so many other sites. And in the organizers world, we feel like we can benefit you greatly. And I can speak to that whenever you are ready for me to.
I love it. And once she speaks to that, I will speak to you on the kind of part of how this can actually benefit our clients, how it can benefit us, and the ways we would go about doing that. But yes, definitely go into that first, and then we'll jump into the other stuff.
Sure. So Madilyn James in general is for the budding entrepreneur who wants to start something but needs that platform. Creators, artisans, your closet clean out, and organizers, of course. So we know you find that yourselves in the dilemma where you are handed all this stuff and then what to do with it. Do I donate it? Can I resell it? And obviously, we leave that up to you completely. But if you are looking to sell it and get rid of it, that is where Madilyn James steps in. And you can set up your storefront, you can list the items, you can sell them yourself, or we are here for you and happy to help. And that's what makes us different. You simply drop those items in the mail, get them to us, and we will set up your storefront for you. We will list them for you. You will go through a few account setup things that we'll walk you through so that your account is funded when those items sell. But other than that, we will handle the listing, the storage, getting them shipped out for you, and kind of take you out of that process so you can get back to doing what you do.
Love it. Okay, so I have so many questions, and I'm going to try to just see where this goes. But so question number one would be, so what you're saying is that if someone, like for instance, let's say I go to a client's home, and let's just use the scenario that they ask me, hey, can you post this stuff online for me? And I'm like, listen, I don't do this, but I have a resource for you. Would it be for those types of clients that do have a lot that they would like to sell, that they could then reach out to you and you would be able to help them with the entire process?
Absolutely. So they can handle the entire process themselves, and they can do the listings, handle the storage and the shipping, or they can reach out and say, hey, I simply don't have time to list it. I don't have anywhere to store it. Can you handle that for me? And then we'll walk them through that process. So either way, absolutely.
Okay. And then quick question on the mailing part of it. So who, like, do we as the, like, I guess your clients, do we pay to mail it to you and then like you hold on to it for us? How does that part work?
Correct. It's up to you to get the items to us. And then after that, you're completely taken out of the equation in the sense of once we have the items and list them, the shipping then is handled, of course, by the buyer. And we will handle getting the item out. We will package it. You're not billed for any of that. That's just a service we're going to offer. And obviously there will be a commission that we keep, and then the remainder is funded to your account.
Yeah, 1,000%. Okay, so then you all store it. How long are you going to store something? Are you going to do like discounts after so many days, or is it more of like, oh, it has 90 days to sell and then we will donate it or send it back to you? How does that part work?
Exactly. So typically we obviously watch it for about 30 days. If it's not selling, we'll start dropping the price based on what it's going for on the internet. AI is a great tool for that. And then at the 60-day mark, same thing, drop it again. If it hasn't sold by 90 days, then we will donate it for you. And obviously we'll reach out to you to let you know that's happening.
Ooh, so that's even good because then a lot of our clients that are like, the one thing I always tell clients when I'm working with them and they want stuff to be sold online, if they're going to do it themselves, give it a time frame. Like, and I always tell them, I don't care if it's 6 months from now, but
Yep.
whatever that date is, whatever hasn't sold, it's not going to sell. Let's just let it go
Right.
and release it. So then you're not having to deal with it anymore. Okay. So yours is 90 days. So it has 90 days to sell and then
Correct.
it would be donated.
That's right. And seasonal items, obviously, if it's the middle of summer and you're looking to sell sweaters or holiday items, then we suggest either holding on to them until season or reaching out and saying, "Hey, I need to get these out of the house, but can we list them in 90 days?" And we can work with you on that as well.
Love it. Yeah, and I think we had talked on the phone when we were talking to set this up that you're thinking about either charging just like a membership fee or like you're thinking about
Yes.
something along those lines because I immediately when you were like, we store it for you, I was like, you what for what price? And like that's just too cheap. How are you gonna pay your bills? Like my brain
Right.
went into like this coach mode with you. Just making sure that you don't end up screwing yourself to where you don't
Yes.
have any funds coming in because you have to be able to
Yep.
pay your employees and all of the
Exactly.
things. Okay, so either we can set up the storefront and manage it and house it in our own house, or we can send it to you. You can store it. And then what if we hold on to it though? Is it
Yep.
still the 90-day mark?
So if you decided to do it all on your own, you're doing the listings, you're handling setting up the storefront. Nope, you can keep it listed for a year. There's no term at that point because it's completely up to you and you're directing your own store. That's only with us, so we can only house it for so long, obviously.
Of
So at that
course.
90-day point, it's not selling. We're going to get it out to bring new inventory in. But no, if you do your own thing, you can keep it on your store for as long as you'd like.
So, real quick, what are the rates for like if, because I know you had mentioned too, and this is the other place I know a lot of my clients get stuck is the photo taking, the setting up of the storefront, which I know why you offer the hey, just ship it to us. We'll take the photos,
Yep.
like your team will do everything. But if they're like, oh, 90 days isn't long enough, I want to
Sure.
hold on to it and set it all up myself. Are there percentage differences there, or how does that work with the commission and stuff?
For sure. So right now we're offering a promotion where it's 7.5% period. So whether you're listing it yourself online or you're shipping it to us, we will keep 7.5%. You get the rest. Now that is just the holiday special we're offering through December 31st. And then what will happen after that is the 7.5% will remain for probably another 60 days until it bumps up to whatever we announce come February. But the folks that are shipping the items to us, at that point, the commission goes to 50%. So you get 50%, we get 50% for doing all the work.
Gotcha. And well, that's okay. That's way better than when you first said 7%. I was like, 7% to like house it and do the photos and like all this
Yep.
stuff. I was like, how are you going to? Okay. So it's
Just the holiday
50-50. Like,
promotion. Yep, yep.
gotcha. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. All right. I gotcha. Okay. So this also, as organizers, we know that, or at least most of you should know if you listen to me for any length of time, that in my contract or client agreement, whatever you would like to call it, I have a little like section in there that says once you release the items to me, they become the service provider's property. So then I have I can take them to the dump, to the trash, I can do whatever needs to be done with them. But I also know a ton of my clients are like, girl, if you can sell this, sell it. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard that. Like, take this with you. I don't want it in my house anymore. But girl, if you can sell it and make a quick buck, do it. And up until now, I've been like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to deal with the spam messages. I don't want to deal with all the crap on Facebook Marketplace, meeting up with people, blah, 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 blah. And so I love what you're doing because it's a way for those clients that do say that to me. And then I'm like, oh, there's some like decent stuff here, that it's something that I could even, either house here or send to you and just do 50-50. But no, hopefully it sells in 90 days. If it doesn't, it gets donated anyways.
Exactly.
Right.
So
So,
it's a win-win is the way we look at it. And it's funny you say that because I've used organizers in the past and, they're amazing. And I would always say, just take it away. And then one day it dawned on me, I'm like, I wonder what they're doing with it. And I, signed the contract, didn't review it. And sure enough, in the fine print, it did kind of release those items to them to do with, at their discretion. And I think that's genius. So I'm glad to hear that that's in your contract, and I'm hoping others kind of follow suit.
they should, especially considering, real quick, just a little, or not mic drop moment, but mic drop for me moment. I just completely redid my paperwork mini course, and I completely redid the modules in my How to Start Your Organizing Business, because it was so important for me to kind of update some of that stuff. And so I definitely go over that in those things, because it's super important. And I wanted to make, for me, I wanted to make the paperwork modules and all the stuff more simple, because originally I had them on Canva. And girl, editing on Canva and then trying to figure out how to print and all the stuff, I was like, oh, nope, we're going back to a Word document. We're going to make
Yep.
this easy,
Old
because I am
school.
all keep it simple. Like, that's what
Yes.
I need, is just keep it simple, help my
Me too.
girls get their paperwork, and so they can start working with clients. Okay, so I love that. So we can either share. Now, do you all do any kind of like referral incentive or anything? And I don't even know, this is just off the top of my head, but like if
Yeah.
if an organizer did refer to their clients and just pass it along, is there any kind of
Kind of kickback for the organizer. So we
yeah.
don't yet, but that's funny you mentioned, because just last week we were thinking about we need some kind of campaign for those referrals. So that is what I'm calling coming soon. So in 2026, absolutely, they will get rewarded some way. Yeah, for those referrals for sure.
Love it. And, even honestly, like for me, back whenever like my kids were little, I'd go to a consignment store, and there was this one that I happened to get in within their first like 200 customers or whatever it was. And so I got everything at like, way better deals than most people did. But one of the things that they did was you got so much money for each thing that sold. But if you use that same money within their business, you actually, like, it kind of went a little further. You got more money, like bang for your buck
Correct.
kind of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, something like that even would be fantastic. Maybe some like Madilyn James cash kind of thing.
Yep. Well, it's funny. We
Can...
bounced around the idea of Maddie money the other day. So,
Okay.
and maybe that's exactly what we do with it. If you keep your money on the site and spend it on the site, like you said, it goes further.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay. So, what are the items in particular? Like, because obviously, if my client's like, hey, I have a lawnmower, I can't mail you a lawnmower, right? So,
Right.
like, is it more of like, are you looking for certain things in particular? I know you said obviously think about the season and like when the season is before you ship it,
Right.
if you guys are going to house it. But is it everything from like makeup to shoes to clothes to baby to women to men's?
All of that. Yes. And I mean, let's say anything you can ship. Obviously, if it's incredibly heavy, it doesn't make sense to ship it. Or if, like you said, if it's a lawnmower, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, anything, fashion, bags, accessories, home decor, beauty products that are still, sealed, unused, anything, as long as it doesn't fall in our prohibited list, which, that's kind of got the crazy things in it that you probably would think no anyways. But yeah, anything that I'm guessing you're taking out of these closets would be appropriate.
Yeah. And then, okay, so next question. I have so many questions about this. I'm
Oh,
so
it's
excited.
perfect because it makes me think
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So when it comes to like, well, first question, if like, let's say I sent you some stuff and I know you said your team handles it, right? And then as your team's handling it, they take the photos, they get the post up, they get it all ready, all the things. And then what if there are a few things that I'm like, it's just a little too heavy to ship right now, but because I don't want to ship it to you and then turn around and the buyer has to buy. If I held on to it, but instead of holding on to everything, right? But this one or two things that are a little bit heavier, is that okay? Like, can I add to my thing with my own photos and my own stuff on top of
Yeah.
what you all have done?
Anytime. Yep. So you will have your login. We'll create, your store and login for you. You'll go in and plug in your confidential information, like where you want your payments going to, for example. but yeah, you'll have that login. So you can go at any time and see how your store is performing. You can add something if you want to. So at that point is if something sells and we're like, that's not in our inventory, obviously we just reach out and say, hey, we think this is something you held on to. It needs to go out.
Gotcha. And then, but then you said once someone purchases. So like if
Yes.
I did hold on to it or whoever has it, whatever.
Yep.
But the buyer kind of similar to like a Poshmark kind of thing where like the buyer pays for the shipping. I print a label, I pop it on and then just ship it through whoever it is that you send me to. Do you have options? Is it like UPS, FedEx? Like, do you have options or is it all like
It's
one?
all USPS right now, but we actually were just thinking about adding FedEx and UPS because it's not hard to. And most of our competitors don't offer multiple shipping partners, and I think that that's crazy, right? I mean, why not? So yes, we have USPS right now, and FedEx and UPS will be coming online within 2 months. Not
Yeah.
it won't be long.
And just so you know, if for me personally, when I look at stuff, if I see, and this is no shame to USPS, but if I see it's USPS, I'm like, it's going to take a month for it to get here. If I
Yes.
see it's UPS, I'm like, ooh, I can get it in like 2 days, right? And
Right.
so I think for me, I would rather, like, I like the idea of having the options of being
Me
able to
too.
be like, hey, I can ship it through FedEx because everyone has their preferences. They would rather be like, oh, I'm going to spend $8 USPS and it'll get here in, 5 months. Or I can ship it through UPS and it's going to be here in like 5 days. And oh, I have to
100.
pay $4 more, kind of thing. And so
Yep.
I think that's genius to have those. One other question, because I get this all the time, is when it comes to taking the photos, I hear that so often that like, and I know they're talking more about like Facebook Marketplace and things of that nature, but a lot of the clients that I work with, they're like, I don't have the time or I don't have the know how to take correct photos. Do you all have any kind of like little like teaching things of like, hey, here's how you take the photo, here's how you upload it, here's how you whatever? Or one other thing is us organizers, one thing I could offer to my clients is, hey, I'll take the photos for you and even help you upload it because then from there, if you get a notification that it's sold, you just have to take it to the mail.
Correct. Yeah, that's brilliant too. If you kind of do the busy work, so to speak, for them. And one thing we've tried to do is make so you can list something in under a minute through the use of AI as well. So listing is super simple. But yeah, if you list for them and then tell them, when something sells and they just click the button to generate that label and they ship it. Yeah, all of those scenarios are very possible. But you asked a question before that made me think of something, and now I'm the how-to video. So yes, we have some videos on our site right now and social that talk about how to list and the ease of it, and then some pointers for taking really good pictures. But that's a great point. I think we should post the how-to videos in terms of pictures and the best way to display them. And there's some really great cheap options on Amazon, for example, for like a hook for a bag, for taking pictures of a bag and things like that, that we'll post on the site for sure.
Yeah, I think that's genius because and the reason I say this is because I'm on the other end of it, right? Like I hear all the questions of like and the reason I don't help my clients post is because it's not just the taking the photos and helping them post. That I could do. It's they're thinking, "Oh, if Samantha posts for me, she's also going to answer the messages that come through. She's going to like, figure out."
Store
And then I'm
it.
like, "Wait, do I take it to my house and then how do I get you your money back?" And like it's just too many moving parts there
Yes.
from there. Now the
Makes it
simple parts
messy.
of like, yeah, and the simple parts of like, hey, I could easily while with our in our time together, take a few photos and help
Sure.
you at least upload them into the system. But I one thing I've learned with also having like the membership and the courses and stuff is I think sometimes for us as the owners of the business, we think very high level. Like there's very basic information that kind of like you said, a hook for a bag, right? Like or
Mhm.
how the lighting should be. Like we take those things for granted just because we know what we know. Like we already know that. We learned that years ago. But
Right.
those types of videos or information I give people that I'm like, "Hey, here's this one little teeny tiny tip." The more simple you can keep it, especially for a lot of like our older clients, I think that that's a huge asset for your business is to have those super short how-to videos that go straight to the point. Like even for today, I had one of my newest members. She had just purchased the course. She had kind of waited for a while because she wasn't sure. And she told me today, she said, Samantha, I've had buyer's remorse on so many things, like courses I've purchased, vitamins I've bought, like all these things that I've gotten kind of hooked into purchasing. And then the amount of information I get or what I thought I was getting is never up to par with what I felt like I spent. She
Yep.
said, and in your course, it actually like was exponentially more than I thought would be in a course priced what it's priced.
That's
And
awesome.
right, I was like, "Hey, I need that testimonial, please." Right? But it made me so proud because I did put so much work and effort and all the things, but one of the things I did in that course that I think is so valuable is exactly what I was just saying. I literally went step by step and was like, how to, set up your Facebook business page, how to this, that, and the other. And so I'd have a little teaching video, but then they would click on the little 3 or 4 minute video of me literally showing them the screen of the
Yes.
exact buttons to hit because
Yes.
that's where people get confused.
I totally agree. Screen recordings are so valuable and so easy to do, right? So we have several of them. If you just go to madilynjames.com, and they can literally watch me just clicking and doing a listing within, 40 seconds.
Ooh, yay. I love that. Okay, so what else do we need to know from an organizer's perspective so we can help our clients? Or if our clients have said, hey, do whatever with it, I don't care, just get it out of my house, we can
Sure.
decide if we want to hold on to it. And then you're coming up with a referral link.
Packaging's easy as well. So as long as it's, pants, a shirt, a bag, whatever the case may be, that's it's small. But we have Madilyn James, envelopes or packing bags that we're happy to send you, that you can throw the things in if you're packing them yourself.
Oh, that's actually a good point because a lot of times I go to ship something and I'm like, wait, because there's so many
Right.
rules around packing, right? Like you got to
Yes.
pack it in this, and then you got to throw it in this other bag to get the seven
Yes.
ninety five, whatever. So you do offer like
Yep.
the
We have
the
shipping
bags that you'll
materials.
send.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome,
All they have to do is ask for them. Yep.
perfect. And then with the printing, so if I don't have my own printer, can I go to like a UPS store or somewhere and have them print the label off for me?
Yeah, you don't even have to print it. You just the system generates a QR code, and you just take that with the package, and they scan it and say, "Thanks," and you're done.
Oh, like Amazon, like the
Yeah.
easy way, where
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
literally take it and say, "Hey, here, scan
Yes.
my thing. Here's my thing. Goodbye."
Exactly. They'll slap the label on it, and you can walk out the door. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, real quick, can I just ask, like, how did you get into this of all the things that you could have gotten into?
Of all the things. So my background is obviously heavy in the tech industry, but it actually started way back in '05 in background screening. And my husband, I actually built a company, and it grew rapidly. And, I'm sure, trying to find enough help at times is the struggle, right? So we turned to technology and automated as much as we possibly could. And then in 2020, when we sold that company, we had learned so much about automation. And at the time, AI wasn't, you just weren't hearing about AI like you are now.
Right.
And so we thought at the time we were super high tech and with all of our automation. And we took, I don't know, a couple years off, and I kind of sat back and pondered, what really matters, what I want to do next. I feel like I'm too young to retire. Plus, I love working, right? And I said, why don't we try to empower, as being an entrepreneur is amazing and
Yes.
great feeling, but it takes a certain kind of grit and confidence, and you have your moments of ups and downs. And so we said, why don't we try to empower others who really want to get into it, any kind of business, and provide that platform, whether it is reselling or cleaning out your closet, or hey, I create these great candles, or hey, I'm an artist and I just need somewhere to sell my stuff until I can get my own website. It kind of incorporated what I love, helping entrepreneurs, but also technology, and how do you create this marketplace for them that feels collaborative and not just corporate, as well as you're putting more money back in their pocket instead of the high commission fees. And then enter AI, and we've learned so much about that over the last 18 months, and how that at first, I guess, honestly scared me, but how now it can really assist. You absolutely don't want to let it take over, but it's a great assistant, as I call it. So it kind of grew from being this marketplace and this place for budding entrepreneurs to come and grow together to becoming very, I guess, technologically advanced in what AI can help people with and how it can like empower them. So not only is it each other doing the empowering, but also AI is very cool in the sense that it can, the problem that you're trying to solve, right? We're so busy and I don't have time to do this, but I should be doing this. And that's where AI steps in and just helps with the efficiencies and things.
Oh, that's awesome. And so you are yours, and you said artisan earlier, and I guess it just didn't click for me. So the people that, like yesterday, I was helping a client that she has an engraving business. And so even someone like her, I could be like, hey, for your engraving business, like here's another platform that
Oh,
you could be
absolutely.
selling your stuff on.
Yeah, so we have jewelry makers, artists, fashion designers who are all on there posting their work, just trying to get, seen. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. And so spell Madeline James for us real quick. So
Sure.
anyone listening,
It's Madilyn James.
love it. And is it .com?
It is. It's just MadilynJames.com, and all of our social handles are Madilyn James or the Madilyn James.
Nice. That's a really good. It sounds very fancy. It's a nice little
I'm
like fancy name. Yeah.
I know people are saying you should come up with a fashion brand behind it. I'm like, no, no, no. We're trying to be sustainable and and
Right.
sell.
I'm not trying to throw money away. I'm
No,
trying to
no,
make it
no.
here.
But yeah, that's always a tricky part, right? Coming up with a name is half the battle. But I like what we came up with and the story behind it. So
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Oh, actually, I have a good question. So, you as the client, which you and I had this conversation, you had an organizer come in, she helped you, and then the stuff she took away, you were actually thinking like, "Wait, what happened to that stuff?" Right? What are your thoughts on, because once you looked back through, it said that it became her stuff. Do you feel like you would have been offended if she had taken and sold some of the stuff? Or to you, is it just like, listen, as long as it's out of my house, I don't care what you do with it?
no, I told her to take it because I was just at that point in life, two little kids, and I was like, just get it out of here. And I think it's about communication, right? I think had I wanted to make any money on it, I would have done just that. But no, at that point, I was like, please take it. So no, I think in organizers' eyes, they're doing all that work, and if they release those items to you, no, I think that's another revenue stream for you. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I can already hear the back end of some of my girls being like, but it's their stuff and they're expecting me to take it to this place or to do this with it. But I love what you said about it's about communication, right? As long
Exactly.
as it's in the contract and you talk about it with them. And the other option that you could even offer people, if you wanted to go down, if like your guilt's like, oh gosh, I couldn't possibly sell someone else's stuff, just ask them. I guarantee 90% of your clients are going to say, girl, I don't care what you do with it. But for the
Yeah.
10% maybe that say, oh, if it sells, I would like a kickback, offer them a kickback if it sells. And just tell them
100%.
it's not guaranteed to sell, but if it does sell, I'll, send you a gift card, a Visa gift card for however much or whatever.
Yeah, there you go, and set a time limit on it. Say, I'll let you know in 6 months what has sold, and yeah, give you 10% or whatever.
Because, like you said,
I'm
we're helping them tremendously, and for a lot of us,
Yes.
especially my newer girls, a lot of them are very much undercharging what they could or should be charging, and
Yep.
so to me, I don't think this is something to feel guilt about. I think this is something that, like, hey, if the client's happy for it to go and they don't care where it goes, or now there are a few clients that are very specific, but again, like you said, okay, great, then you keep it and sell it. Here's the link to Madeline James and maybe you'll have a referral link for us, very
Yes.
soon. And, it can kind of go from there. But I think, oh, I knew I had another question. So you had said like if someone ships to you and you all do all the work and then it sells, it's 50-50 in the future. I know right now it's less. It's like 7% or something right now.
Yep.
But in the future, if I keep my own stuff or the stuff I'm trying to sell, I set up my own storefront. I'm the one that's done it all. What will that percentage be after this holiday?
Right. So what we're looking at right now is that 7.5% promotion that we're offering. And then we're going to transition to a subscription-based model. Now, you don't have to be part of the subscription. So if I'm remembering correctly, we're going to have 4 options. And one is no subscription. It's just a flat, I want to say 20% commission. However, if you do the math and look at the subscriptions, which are extremely inexpensive, that subscription comes with a much lower commission. And we'll publish that, I'm going to say at some point in January, if not no later than February. For example, not even $20 a month might take you from, instead of paying that 15 or 20% commission, down to 10%. So that, if you're selling anything or any kind of volume, it makes sense to pay the $20 a month, right? And
Yeah.
all that $20 does then is just secure your commission rate for a year so that it will not change.
Love it. Yeah, no, that's great. And I was thinking, like, I'm like, oh, I knew there was something that like we hadn't
Yep.
touched on that we needed to touch on.
I vaguely remember, I think we have one, it's more like $900 a year, but I want to say that one, if I'm remembering correctly, you stay at the 7.5% commission. So for someone selling, a crazy amount, $5,000 worth of items a month, paying that $900 a year to maintain that 7.5%, makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for the artisans, or like, if they're
Yes,
selling a ton of things.
exactly.
But for, you, or for the ones of us that are just selling like a few things here or there, we just, have the stuff that we want to put on there. The point is that there's options. And
Oh,
the
yeah,
other point is that it's very affordable either way, whether it's the 20
absolutely.
bucks for, the subscription, or whether it's whatever it is. Like, even if it is 20%, great. You created the QR code, you created the platform, like you sent out and got people to the platform.
Right.
And so I love what you're doing. And I think this is going to be a huge, like you said, additional revenue stream, or at least another place that, we can tell our clients to go, we can help our clients with, or we can sell it and then give them a kickback. Like, there's many avenues that this can go.
Yes.
But I love that specifically in your marketing, you don't just talk about artisans and entrepreneurs, you specifically talk about organizers.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think that is huge, because it really does pair very well with professional organizers and what it is that we're trying to do to help our clients with. But we also have to make ends meet and have our bills paid, for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Yes, you all have a tough job to do. Like I said, I have worked with several and they're amazing. And gosh, it's hard work.
It really is. Yeah. No, thank you so much for coming on the show and for
You're
telling us all
so
about Madilyn
welcome.
James. I'll make sure to put all the links in the show notes. If any of you have any questions, like she said, go to the website, check it out, see what it's about, watch some of the videos, like just get a feel for it and see if this feels like it's something that pairs well with your business, or if it doesn't. And again, no matter what, even if you don't decide to do Madilyn James, make sure to have that in your contract that says, anything that's released to me becomes the property of the service provider. If you go check out the paperwork mini course or the how to start your business course, it's in both of those. But I say that because I had a client that almost a year after I worked with them called me back and asked me about a lamp that they had donated. And I was like, listen, I took it straight to the donation center. Like, I have no clue where your lamp is from. I think it was like 10 months previous, right? Like, from 10
Gosh.
months ago, I have no clue where your lamp is. And so just having that extra little protection for us, and making sure to go over it with our clients in our consultations, so that way they know, listen, once you give it to me, I'm going to be doing what needs to be done with it, but it becomes my property, so I have the authority to do so, has been a game changer in my business. And I've not gotten one call like that since I added that to my contract.
I think that's genius. Yep. I probably would not be an organizer without that clause.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate you. And then for those of you listening, we will catch you in the next episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. Go to proorganizerscoach.com to find all the ways that we can help you succeed in your business. Remember, you have the power to make a difference in people's lives through decluttering and organization. So keep honing your skills, embracing those challenges, and fostering connections. Girl, you've got this.